a mammal that lays eggs, a fish that walks on land, a shrimp that can see 16 types of color while you can only see 3. These animals sound like something from a sci-fi movie, but they're real, and they're challenging everything we thought we knew about evolution. Today, we're looking at 5 animals that scientifically shouldn't exist, but somehow do. And the reason why they exist? That's even more fascinating than the animals themselves. Let's dive in. Number 1, the platypus. Let's start with the most famous. What the hell is that animal on Earth? The platypus. When European scientists first saw a platypus specimen in 1798, they thought it was a hoax. Someone had literally stitched a duck's bill onto a beaver's body as a joke. And honestly, can you blame them? The platypus breaks every rule. It's a mammal, but it lays eggs. It has fur, but also a bill. It's warm-blooded, but can't regulate its temperature as well as other mammals. Oh, and the males, they have venomous spurs on their back legs. Because why not add venom to this biological fever dream? But here's where it gets really weird. The platypus has 10 sex chromosomes. You and I have 2, X and Y. They have 10. Their genetic makeup is part mammal, part bird, part reptile. It's like evolution threw darts at a board and said, sure, let's do all of that. So how did this happen? The platypus is what scientists call a monotreme, one of the most ancient mammals on Earth. They split from other mammals about 166 million years ago during the age of dinosaurs. While other mammals evolved to give live birth, monotremes kept laying eggs. They're basically living fossils, a snapshot of what early mammals looked like. And because Australia became isolated from other continents around 50 million years ago, the platypus had no competition. No predators evolved to hunt them efficiently, so they just kept existing. Being weird, laying eggs, living their best aquatic mammal life. The platypus survived because in their isolated environment, being a weird egg-laying, venomous duck beaver actually worked. Number 2, the mantis shrimp. If the platypus is evolution's weird experiment, the mantis shrimp is evolution showing off. This thing has superpowers that would make comic book heroes jealous. And I'm not exaggerating. First, their eyes. While you can see 3 primary colors, red, green, and blue, the mantis shrimp can see 16 types of color. 16. They can see ultraviolet, infrared, and polarized light. Their eyes move independently and have trinocular vision in each eye. Each eye alone has depth perception. It's like having 6 eyes instead of 2. But the really insane part? Their punch. Mantis shrimp have specialized front limbs that strike with the force of a .22 caliber bullet. Their punch accelerates faster than a bullet from a gun, reaching speeds of 50 miles per hour in just 3 milliseconds. The strike is so fast it literally boils the water around it, creating light from sheer force. It's called cavitation, and it's the same physics that damages boat propellers. They can shatter aquarium glass. They can split open crab shells like they're made of paper. If a human could punch with the same proportional force, we could throw a baseball into orbit. So why does an animal need to punch things with the force of a gunshot? Competition. Mantis shrimp live in coral reefs, one of the most densely populated ecosystems on Earth. They hunt hard-shelled prey like crabs and mollusks. Their incredible eyes help them see prey in complex coral environments, and their insane punch lets them crack open anything they find. They evolved into underwater assassins because in the reef, if you can't see everything and hit hard, you don't eat. Number 3, the axolotl. This is the axolotl, and it's breaking one of the fundamental rules of biology, growing up. Most amphibians start as water-breathing larvae, then metamorphose into air-breathing adults. Tadpoles become frogs. Salamander larvae become salamanders. But the axolotl said no thanks and just stays a baby forever. It's called neoteny, remaining in a juvenile state while still reaching sexual maturity. The axolotl keeps its external gills, its tadpole-like tail, and lives its entire life underwater. It never develops lungs or becomes a land animal. It's basically Peter Pan, the salamander. But here's the kicker. The axolotl can transform into a land salamander if you give it the right hormone. But in the wild, it never does. It chooses to stay aquatic and juvenile. And then there's their regeneration ability. If an axolotl loses a leg, it grows back. Perfectly. With bones, muscles, nerves, everything. They can regenerate their spinal cord. They can regrow parts of their brain. They can even accept organ transplants from other axolotls without rejection. If you cut an axolotl's heart in half, it repairs itself. Scientists are studying axolotls to understand regeneration, hoping to apply it to human medicine. This weird Peter Pan salamander might hold the key to regrowing human organs. So why did the axolotl evolve to stay a baby? Their native habitat, the lakes near Mexico City, is high altitude and cold. Staying aquatic with gills is actually more efficient than developing lungs in that environment. The water has plenty of oxygen, food is abundant, and there's no need to risk life on land. The axolotl stayed a baby because being a baby was the smartest survival strategy. Number 4, the tardigrade. Meet the tardigrade, also called the water bear or moss piglet. It's microscopic, about half a millimeter long, and it's virtually indestructible. This might be the toughest animal on planet Earth. Tardigrades can survive temperatures from just above absolute zero, negative 458 degrees Fahrenheit, to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. They can withstand pressure 6 times greater than the deepest ocean trenches. They can survive radiation levels that would kill almost anything else. They've been to space, exposed to the vacuum and cosmic radiation, and they survived. When conditions get bad, tardigrades enter a state called cryptobiosis. They expel almost all water from their bodies, retract their legs, and basically turn into a dried-out husk. In this state, they can survive for decades. Add water, and they spring back to life like nothing happened. Scientists revived a tardigrade that had been frozen for 30 years. 30 years of being a freeze-dried husk, and it just woke up and went about its day. So how did something this indestructible evolve? Tardigrades live in some of the harshest microenvironments on Earth. Temporary puddles, moss on rocks, soil that dries out completely. To survive, they evolved the ability to shut down completely and wait for better conditions. Their superpower isn't being strong, it's being patient. When the environment turns deadly, they just press pause and wait it out. For years if necessary. The tardigrade survived because it learned to stop existing until existing was possible again. Number 5, the mudskipper. And finally the mudskipper, a fish that said, "I'm going to walk on land millions of years before it was cool." While most fish die within minutes out of water, mudskippers spend most of their time on land. They have functional gills, but they also breathe through their skin and the lining of their mouth and throat. They use their pectoral fins like arms to pull themselves across mud. They can climb trees. They can jump up to 2 feet in the air. There are fish that are better at being on land than some land animals. Their eyes are on top of their head and can move independently, like a chameleon. They blink by pulling their eyes into their head to keep them moist. They're basically living the amphibious lifestyle without being amphibians. So why would a fish evolve to leave the water? Mudskippers live in mangrove swamps and tidal zones where water levels change drastically. When the tide goes out, most fish are stuck in shrinking pools, easy prey for birds. But mudskippers just walk away. They escape predators, find food in the mud, and even dig burrows to stay moist. They're also reenacting one of evolution's most important moments. About 375 million years ago, some fish started moving onto land, eventually evolving into all land vertebrates, including us. The mudskipper is showing us what that transition might have looked like. The mudskipper survived by refusing to be limited by water. When the ocean wasn't enough, it learned to walk. So what do all these animals have in common? They all broke the rules because the rules didn't work for their environment. The platypus kept ancient features because isolation meant no competition. The mantis shrimp evolved supervision and super strength because reefs are brutal. The axolotl stayed young because being young was efficient. The tardigrade became indestructible because its world kept trying to kill it. And the mudskipper left the water because staying in the water was more dangerous. Evolution doesn't care about what should exist. It only cares about what works. And sometimes what works is absolutely bizarre. These animals shouldn't exist by the standards of what we think is normal. But normal is just what's common. And these animals prove that uncommon solutions can be the best solutions. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button because we've got way more bizarre animals to cover. Drop a comment and let me know which of these 5 animals you think is the weirdest. And if you want to support the channel, check out the links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.